I forgot about that.
I love that intro.
Oh, James, I forgot about the bit at the end there where me and Morgan stood outside the back of the Barclay and stood back to back and looked at the camera.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool.
Like it was some sort of, I don't know.
Miami Vice.
Yeah, Miami Vice, yeah. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to this episode of Beyond the Barclay with me, Jez Davies. I'm, of course, joined with Sir Quiffage of Derhamshire, Mr. Morgan Hewitt. How are you?
Oh, every time. You get me every time on your introductions. I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, just it's been one of those weeks with Norwich City, isn't it? Which, you know, I think we might see some movement this week, hopefully, but we will see.
Well, I saw a win tonight for I'm going to plug it. My local club, Derham Town Football Club, beat Sprouse in the Cup 2-0. Really good game. Yeah. So anyone watching this it lives in the Derham area, go down and support your local club, grassroots, because if there is no grassroots, there is no top. So go support Derham Town play.
Exactly.
Someone's winning.
Exactly. This is it, James. So just to introduce our guests today, then, Mr. James Copland. Copland,
yeah.
Should have asked that before we came on, really. Never mind. Mr. Copland from New York Canaries. James, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Perhaps you'd just like to explain where you are currently.
I'm on holiday, so I'm not in New York, where it's fall has definitely taken root, and it's 40s in the evening, 50s during the day, which means nothing to you guys, right? I'm not sure what that is in Celsius, but it's definitely a little warmer here in the Florida Keys, which is, those of you that don't know, a bunch of keys connected by bridges south of Miami. So that's where I am this week.
No,
and as you can see, it's overcast, so it's not even sunny here, but it's
beautiful. Beautiful British weather has come across to Miami. So there we go. I think with the Fahrenheit Celsius thing, I was taught it was double it and add 30. So did you say it was 50?
Yeah, it's 50 in New York. Yeah. Now.
So take away 30, so it's about 10 degrees. Yeah.
You go.
Okay, great. So I think it'd probably be quite a good place to start the questioning. So perhaps you can describe your most, your ultimate NCFC moment, and how did that make you feel at the time?
Oh, wow. Do you know, it's not that long ago, actually, because, I raised a kid here who plays football, and he's a big Norwich fan, while everyone else's kids in the States support, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man United. So I think probably as he was growing up, he would only get to go to a few games. I think, 2019, Vrancic free kick against Wednesday at home. He was a mascot that day. And he was, I think, nearly 12 at the time. So he was the biggest mascot there. And he walked out with Steeperman. And just to see him go nuts when that free kick went in, took his shirt off and did the old wave it around his head. So that was, that's in most recent times is probably my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
the year of football. That was. I mean, that was the best football I can remember seeing at Norwich.
Yeah, that's come up before, isn't it, Jez?
It has, and I think it's. Do you know what? I think that season does get talked about a lot because I think that was my favourite ever season supporting Norwich. Just everything went for us, didn't it? And we had all those last gasp winners or equalisers as we did on Boxing Day that year against Forest after being 3-0 down.
Yeah.
But it was just such a great season, and some really sort of big characters in there as well. Like as you mentioned, Steeperman, you mentioned Vrancic, but we could probably sit here for 10 minutes and wax lyrical about every single one of those players that played in that squad that season. Absolutely superb, and that free kick. And I think as well, very lucky enough to talk to Chris Gorham on the podcast last year. And I highlighted that to him. I said, well, that must have been brilliant, like commentating on that goal. And it is quite iconic, isn't it? The old, I'm not going to do it, but he goes, Vrancic, like that.
I had that as my ringtone on my phone for about 2 years. So
amazing.
Because it was the last kick of the game, wasn't it?
It literally was, yeah.
Essentially. And everyone knew what he could do. I think for me it was because 17-18 was such a drab affair as a you know, how that season kind of played out and how Vrancic was much maligned, I think. You know, for as a player. I even got the third shirt with his name and number 8 on the back just to go against the grain a little bit. And I remember, that I was in a pub with Ben Glacier, our videographer, in Crouch End, and unfortunately we couldn't, the signal was really bad in this pub, and so our friend was messaging us like updates as to what was going on, and we heard about that free kick, and all I remember getting was a message from my friend Ed, who actually lives in New York. I think he's actually been to watch a few games, and we'll come on to that hopefully later on. All I remember seeing was Ed sending a message saying Vrancic ! ! ! ! ! ! ! And I jumped up this pub being like, yes! And then we went back to my friend's Ben's house to look at the highlights, and we just watched it over and over and over and over again. But James, look, fantastic.
Special moment. Yeah. And I think the football that year, we didn't have any superstars really.
No.
Just everyone gelled, and they were all very much an unknown factor. And
and I think it was starting to click in the Premier League the following season, and obviously everyone knows what happened with COVID, and we never really had the project restart, as I always say. We never restarted, every other club did, and we didn't. But no, I think it also, just touching on that game, everyone forgets as well that Forestieri scored that game. It was probably one of the best goals I've seen at Carrow Road.
Right.
I don't know if you guys remember it, but he's literally turned and volleyed it from about 30 yards out.
It was a banger, wasn't it?
Well, it's a great goal.
He was a great player.
He was, he was. I would have probably assumed he doesn't play anymore, because I think he was knocking on a bit then. But I think that's probably a good time for us to move on to question 2, Morgan.
Yeah. Sorry, I wrote these questions, James. I'm sorry. So New York, so good they named it twice. Can you tell us a bit about New York Canaries? How did it come about, and when did it start?
It started in about 2003 when I moved over from England, and basically found a pub that we liked to hang out in. And back then there was nothing. There was no televised games. The Premier League was very difficult to come by at that point as well. So it was like there was Setanta TV. I don't know if you guys remember. That was like an Irish TV channel, and they would charge bars in New York like stupid money, like 10 grand a month to watch odd games. And so the Premier League would be a few games on TV there. Before that, Championship, we would listen to Radio Norfolk commentary in the bar at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then just celebrated goals, that way. But we started there, and then as we kind of outgrew that place a little bit, in the sense that they really couldn't get up at 7 o'clock in the morning after shutting at 4 o'clock in the morning to open it for us. And I didn't want to take the keys to be responsible for that. We moved down to the football factory. It would be really irresponsible of them to give me the keys, because I would just be pouring drinks for everybody. But we moved to the football factory, which is where a lot of the sports clubs go now. And it's below a bar called Legends, which is right by the Empire State Building. And so we meet up in there, and we've had some good times there and some bad times there. So that's pretty much where we go, and that's how it started.
Nice.
How big's the group?
It varies. We have people over the years. We've had people that have come here for work and then left, moved to other parts of the country. We had people here for school who've studied and then gone home again. People pop in. On average, we're about 15 and 16 now. We kind of track that by the WhatsApp group that we keep. Which is all doom and gloom at the minute. But about 15 and 16 people.
Yeah, I think a few years ago, I hope she doesn't mind me mentioning this, but my wife Fiona. She went to a game and was sitting up in the Upper Barclay somewhere, and sat next to a couple of people from the York Canaries.
Oh, there you
go. So,
do you remember what game it was?
No, I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I actually remember being over with a couple of people, and the last time that I sat in the Upper Barclay, that was when we beat Arsenal 1-0 and Grant Holt scored.
Oh, sure, that was that game because she's an Arsenal fan. So you were sat next to her.
Talking to me, so there you go.
Yeah. I don't think she'll come on to say hello, but she might be. But yeah, you were sat next, whether you were next to her or not, or I don't know, further down the road or whatever. But yeah, so that was definitely the game she went to because she's a very happy Arsenal fan at the moment.
Yeah, you failed there. You got to work harder on that one.
I'm trying to get the boy to be an Orange fan, so we'll see.
Oh, I just mean it's not an option. So it's like if I have to have that life, you have to have it too. It's just what it is.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. What would you say has been the best moment during your New York Canaries tenure?
I think the playoff final in 2015 was big because we did a pretty good Middlesbrough group in New York, and at that point, I think people that live in New York that don't really come and join us and watch games or get involved did come for that game, and so I think the pub was split into two downstairs, and I think we had about 50 people. So we made a real event out of it, blew up balloons. It was great. I just remember turning around at 2-0. About 25 minutes in, I turn around. There's like Sam Smith, the singer, is just standing at the back behind us all, watching. Wow. Watching the games. And I was like, I don't recognize that guy. And then it was like just twigged. But yeah, that was good. It was great. And then obviously we stayed there for the rest of the day and just made a real party of it. So I think that's our best moment. Yeah.
And then obviously I guess there's been some times where you've watched key games like the playoff final.
Yeah. I mean, we've had, it's been up and down, some games here it's definitely brutal. For some games when you come into the city, I live outside the city, and even the people that live in Queens and Brooklyn, you travel to the pub for like a 7:30 in the morning game and you get thumped. It's like, oh, great, this is how we're going to start the day. 4 pints of Guinness, 2 shots, and a defeat. So,
What about the 12:30 games? Are they just is that a really early start, or is that a?
Yeah, they're like 7:30 in the morning for us.
Oh wow!
So they're super early. Yeah, and then there's been a couple that there's a 2-week period between when the clocks go back for you guys, for us. So at that point, it's it's 6:30 in the morning. So yeah. Can we get some early ones? But you know what? There's groups all over the world that are watching in the middle of the night, so I shouldn't feel too bad.
Well, I think we spoke to Nick recently, Nick Dye. I don't know if you caught that episode, but he's based in the other side of America, California. I think he's saying 3:30, 4:30 sometimes for him. It's just it's crazy, and I don't know how you guys do it.
Yeah,
but for the love of the club, obviously.
That's the same time that Mr. Athanasio is watching as well, is right?
Yeah. You mentioned that. It's probably a snowball's chance in hell of that. But have you had any contact with the Antanasios at all?
No, not at all. I think they do spend time in. I mean, I think originally they're from New York or from the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
Even though they own a football team, a baseball team, I think they would tell you that probably growing up he was a Yankees fan. But no, they haven't come and joined us or responded to any text when we've invited them out. But they've been pretty busy in the last 12 months. We'll forgive them.
Yeah, I can imagine. I really want. I hope when this episode goes out, I'm gonna tag my friend Ed in it, and hopefully he'll come down and come to you, because like I said, he's been, I think, in the past.
Yeah.
He lives in Brooklyn in Mount. They have like a fort.
What's it called?
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah,
it's a lot
of
brown.
I'm not sure I can't think of the name right now, but
yeah, it's a lot of brown. It's near the Naval Yard.
Yeah, down by the Naval Yard there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been a few times, so yeah, it's good. I'm gutted that I didn't actually get to come and visit. So whereabouts are you for listeners, our 5 listeners at home who might want to make a trip?
Might go to New York one day.
Yeah.
So we're at the Football Factory, which is 6 West 33rd, which is below the Empire State Building. So it's been, we don't meet every week. This year has been particularly brutal because people are just like, oh, I'm not getting out of bed, screw that, right? Like, it's just been like, who's coming this week? All right, well, I guess we won't meet up this week then, right? Or it's like, so it tends to go in cycles of when people are really enthusiastic, or if the games are 10 o'clock in the morning and everyone's like, well, okay, I can make it for 10 o'clock in the morning, but it's not too. So it does vary. Or if we have people in town that week, and also if there's a television available. So all these things come into play, right? They've got about 30 TVs down there, but we share that space with all the other championship clubs, a lot of them, and all the Premier League teams. So you know, it's sometimes we're bringing laptops and we're plugging laptops into road televisions in the corner, and we're just trying to make it work. So it's,
it's great. I mean,
it's quite an eclectic mix of people.
Yeah, it is, and it's home to supporters clubs from South America too. So sometimes you'll go in there, for a midweek game or something, and there'll just be like 150 Colombians jumping up and down with the drum, like it's
That's amazing.
Yeah, Argentinian supporters groups, they can be pretty nuts. So it's
amazing. Yeah. That's really cool. I mean, that was one of the things I was going to say is for the midweek ones, with them being like 7:45, 8 o'clock kickoffs. How does that? Do you just finish work a bit early that day? And
yeah, they're usually in the afternoon. So for us, so it's finished early. But we haven't really this year. We haven't had many at all. I think maybe one.
Yeah, it's not been many, is there? To be fair, I think it was at Derby the other week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got tomorrow, which when this goes out, we'll probably...
Yeah, tomorrow I will be watching here, hopefully with a cocktail in my hand by the pool and a sunny...
I think you'll need one.
Yeah, I might do. Yeah, I might do. I have a feeling. But who knows? We might turn it around. Let's be positive.
Yeah, let's
yeah.
Let's come to Jesus.
Yeah. So, what's it like being hundreds of miles away from the mothership of Carrow Road? I mean, right now, this question is probably null and void, but have you missed it in the past?
Yeah, I miss it every week. When I lived, where Jez is, or joined the Capital Canaries, we travel all over watching games. We go to every home game. So it's I miss it every week, but we have every game here. Like, so games that you guys don't see televised, I see. So I haven't missed. I don't think I've missed a game in like 7 years. So it's just, every game's available. Also, in modern age of social media, for good or bad, we hear about things at the same time as you do. So it feels very connected. Really, it's not. It's 3,500 miles away, but it feels closer.
Yeah, I mean,
no, go on, Morgan.
Well, it's. I mean, Nick Dye. He's a 9 or 10 hour difference. You're what, 5 hours?
Yes, 5 hours. Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, do you come back? Do you come back in person frequently, or how does it work?
Yeah, I do. Luckily for me, we'll do work trips over there, and then I'll try and tack on time on the weekends and come to games. Or if I book a trip, I'll plan it around football, right? So if I'm coming over to see family or whatever, it's based around the schedule and come into a game. So it just costs me a bit more.
Carrow Road can't keep you away.
No.
Are you doing the supporters group event at the end of this? I think they're doing it at the end game this season, aren't they?
Do you know they do it? They do the end game. Usually it's normally around Easter, and I've done it a couple of times. And it's pretty weird walking around the pitch with a flag, but we haven't. We keep threatening as a group to like make everyone go and just do it, right? And put a big trip together, but we just haven't figured it out yet. It's everyone's got different work schedules. And schedules of when they go and visit, and we actually have a bunch of Americans that have never been. So there's people for crazy reasons have decided to support Norwich and stuck with it through thick and thin. And people, American supporters who have been and have been a lot, right? Yeah. Big shout out to Ryan, loves to go. So
Yeah, we've got another former guest, Gulliver. I don't think he's New York. I think he's Washington. He runs a Norwich City forum on Facebook.
Yeah, there's a few of us all over, and funnily enough, a lot of the people that start groups elsewhere have been in New York at some point. There's a guy called Matt Smith in Washington who used to live in New York and be with us every week. So it's
that's amazing.
Yeah.
No, it's really good, and it's I was going to ask as well. Do you? I'm sure you at one point I did visit the York Canaries website, and you were selling merch and stuff.
We did. It's Now we turn to just arrange meetups via via Twitter and just let people know when we're playing or reply to emails. It's tough keeping. I'm like, you guys do this, but it's tough keeping a website up, and everyone's just got like full-time jobs, kids, other commitments, and she's like, I forgot to do that last week, or I didn't update the game. So we've been really slack on that. Well, I need one of the younger members of the group to step up and say like, I'll take that one. But
definitely.
Yeah, Jez is all over it, like a rash on this, aren't you, mate? You're always like you downplay it, but you do.
But I do have a lot of help.
He's the thing is, Jez also has a family and a full-time job, and he's all over this. He pesters me constantly. You don't, Jez. You don't pester me.
And our guests that we get on as well. Yeah, absolutely. So, James, has any Norwich City player ever dropped by New York Canaries to give you their regards? And who would you want to go on a sightseeing tour with?
Oh, a good question. The answer is yes. So Ewan's been out to New York a couple of times. Paul McVeigh spends time here.
Amazing.
Neil Adams has been here, and I've taken him to a baseball game, and he's been a couple of times. Who else? I can remember when Russ Martin was on his honeymoon. Like, I helped him out by writing some good, recommending restaurants and good times to go and do tours and do stuff. Every now and again, when we first started, Gunny was great. He'd wear our T-shirt and promote the group. I think he was in the marketing group at the club at that time. So we're going way back. But yeah. And what was the last part of the question? Who would like to take on a sightseeing tour?
Yeah.
I don't know. What a good one. I think O'Neill would be fun to hang out with for a day, right?
Yeah. He'd be class. I think he started his first game for Charlton this evening. So
yeah, I saw that. It came off like 15 minutes to go. Yeah,
which is great. It's nice to see him back at a club, isn't it? And,
totally.
Yeah, it's a good club for him as well. I think Charlton will stay up this season. I mean, Nathan Jones is manager.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I think it's that's good. That's excellent. Morgan, over to you for this brilliant question. I've just read it. Good luck.
I wrote these a while ago, so I can't remember. So picture the scene. You're out on the streets of Brooklyn. You're out on the streets of Brooklyn enjoying the sights and sounds. You fancy a street hot dog, so you approach a vendor, and to your surprise, it's an NCFC player incognito. Who is it and why?
Well, first of all, the first mistake is you never eat a street hot dog, right? That is the fastest way to spend a week in the bathroom. It's a total taboo. If you knew where those carts get wheeled to at night and spend their night with all those hot dogs just sitting in water in a warm garage somewhere in somewhere in Queens, you would definitely not want one of those. So that's real New Yorkers know that is a taboo. You don't get a street hot dog. Maybe a slice of pizza, right? A New York slice.
Yeah.
Maybe Grant Holt. He looks like he enjoys a slice of pizza. He's a good lad. Maybe Grant Holt. There you go. I think he'd be up for to share a pie with.
It's weird. It's weird because I mean, on our Amber's Army interview with Grant Holt that's coming out in a few weeks. I don't want to spoil it too much, Morgan, but one of the questions we asked him was food related, wasn't it? So he seems to get quite a lot of food related questions, and don't know why.
No, total legend. What can you tell you?
Yeah, he's absolutely legend.
One of my best players I've ever seen play live.
I completely agree. And obviously, the aforementioned Arsenal game, he was the goal scorer, wasn't he? Off Tetty's shot.
Yeah. It was just incredible how he would go. He went from level to level to level. As we went up, he adjusted and grew with it and was able to step up to the next level as well. Amazing, really amazing.
Oh, he was. And I think, sorry, Morgan.
I was going to say, like, I did a little bit of Wikipedia the other day. I didn't realise he was at Nottingham Forest for a while. And
played him on the wing.
Yeah. Didn't enjoy it and then left.
I mean, why? Sorry, I'll rephrase that. How or why are they playing Grant Holt on the wing? What are they getting out of that?
We could say the same thing about a whole bunch of Norwich players playing right now.
True.
Don't suit them, but
yeah, I mean, they brought the kid on at the weekend, didn't they, Mundell Smith, and I think he's a striker, and they put him left back or left wing back or whatever. I'm like, we did.
Yeah.
It's fascinating at the moment to see what's happening.
Yeah. I'm trying not to go back to it too much because it's nice.
I spent half an hour on that Sheffield Wednesday podcast lamenting.
Oh,
so I did before I went to Durham Town today to watch the game. I was on Jez threw me to the wall. Well, not the walls. He threw me onto this Sheffield Wednesday podcast, and it was good. But I spent pretty much half an hour explaining why we're in the dire straits that we're in now. And so I was like, because it's not really, me and Jez don't do that with this podcast. We
try not to.
Yeah, we talk to fans about their lives and that sort of thing. So it was a bit weird. It was also a bit weird not having you there as a safety blanket.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to listening tomorrow, and that'll be pretty incredible. But yeah, throwing you to the Owls doesn't have the same ring to it, does it?
No, not really. But yeah, I mean, a street hot dog. I guess like these days, they're sort of like more. Surely there's more like street food markets, right?
Yeah, there's good street food and there's good food trucks, brilliant food trucks. But those vendors that you would see in an episode of Seinfeld and wheeling it down the street and then setting up something like they're still there. It's still some kind of consortium of businesses where they rent the space, they rent the corner, and they rent the car, and they sell hot dogs. I don't know who's buying them, but I don't know anyone that would eat a street hot dog.
They used to do that at Tottenham Court Road in London. There used to be loads of those types, and they used to sell those like chocolate nuts as well. Do you guys remember that?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
You don't see them anymore. They've gone.
You get people here selling like the hot nuts, chestnuts here, right? Especially in winter. But I don't know anyone that would eat those either, right? But
that was just reminding me both of the guy on London Street. Is it London Street in Norwich where he always used to sell the chestnuts? It's Ronaldo's, isn't it?
Yeah, near the Bank Plane, right?
Other hot chestnut companies are available in Norwich. I don't think they are. I think he's the only one. And it's Bank Plane, isn't it? Yeah, it's as you heading towards like Gerald's that way, isn't it? Kind of on the whatever you want to call it.
Where Nat West used to be, but is now something else. Other banks are
the proper Norwich experience, right? Chestnuts and the Puppet Man.
Say Puppet Man.
He's not there anymore.
Is he not?
No, he's moved to Great Yarmouth.
And obviously Marigold as well, Morgan.
Yeah, but that was at the roundabout. What roundabout was that?
He was at the bottom of Grapes Hill, wasn't he? I think.
Was he? That's changed significantly now.
Oh yeah, hasn't it just? This is the sort of thing we go on to talk about, James. It's not. It doesn't
go down a rabbit hole. Yeah, roundabouts.
Yeah, it happens every time. But that's why people, our 5 listeners, still keep tuning in every week.
Yeah. James is well acquainted with roundabouts, living in Stevenage. Previously.
Oh yeah, there were tons of them, tons and tons and tons of them. Yeah.
Whereabouts were you?
I was Charles Manor.
I was Charles Manor.
Yeah,
I used to live in Charles Manor. Yeah, it was off. What's it called? Just off Fairlands Way, Chepstow Close. We were.
Yeah, there's a pub there. You remember the Emperor's Head.
Yeah, I was about 5 minutes there.
Being open and closed after violent episodes.
There's a few snooker balls in Stock's instance. I think when I was around those here parts. Yeah, it was interesting part of Stephen.
But we don't have roundabouts in America. You don't see them very often. And when we do have them, they throw people into utter confusion.
I can imagine.
There's one in a town in Long Island near me, and whenever you get to that, there's just people stuck on them, just like looking. I'm like, go! like, no, you're not supposed to stop there.
So you live on Long Island. You live on Long Island.
I'm out on Long Island, yeah.
I've done a Long Island tour as well. Yeah, because one of my favourite bands ever called Glassjaw are from Huntington.
Are they really? I spent a lot of time in Huntington. We have a I haven't heard of them, but we have a pretty good gig venue there now called the Paramount. So that's where
they played. They played. Yeah, there's the hometown show, and they played one of their famous records, Worship and Tribute, back to back. So I can't, like, as a Glassjaw fan now, I can't get beyond that level. I've seen them play their hometown in Long Island, Worship and Tribute, songs back to back. That's it.
Amazing. Done. Amazing.
It's a good venue. It's a good place to see a show. Good sound. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, they also do all sorts of other stuff. Like I've seen comedy acts there and stuff. But occasionally, bands that are on their way down or looking for some extra money will find their way there. Like, because it only holds about 2,000 people. I saw Blondie play there. That was pretty cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Stone Temple Pilots came through there a couple of years ago. Slash, it was kind of,
No, that's brilliant.
Looking for a handout after they disappear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I ask a question? Have you ever been on the Cyclone at Coney Island?
I haven't. I mean, I know where it is. I've been to Coney Island. You can get a good hot dog there at Nathan's. I'm not a big fan of janky put together, tin pot theme parks. I tend to. I've been to Disney and Universal way too many times to ride the Cyclone at Coney Island.
The Cyclone's one of the world's last wooden roller coasters, guys. Yeah. And believe me, it's terrifying because you just don't feel safe. And 2 people have died on that roller coaster.
I'm surprised. I wouldn't feel safe on it either.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I think
I just wondered if
don't ask to see the maintenance logs because I'm sure they don't exist.
I've been on the Ferris wheel that's featured in the film The Warriors. That's also terrifying because the cages slide forward, and so then they go like this, and you're like looking at the abyss. But yes, so that's my experience of Coney Island.
I think it'd be a good time, obviously, mentioning roller coasters, to perhaps ask the next question, because I think he's about to go down the big dip with what he said last week with supporting the current manager. I don't think that's going to be the case after tomorrow. But what is your opinion on Mark Atanassiou's takeover of NCFC, and how is he regarded stateside?
Well, he's not really known stateside. I mean, obviously, if you're a Brewers fan, you know all about him. Anyone else doesn't really know who he is. What was the first part of the question? Is how's he been perceived? Or
So, what is your personal opinion of him? I guess, and what?
He seems like a nice guy, and he's got a lot to learn about football, right? I mean, I listened to the interview on Radio Norfolk last week, and I don't know whether that was just kind of lip service while he's figuring out on the back end what to do and how to do it. Or whether or not he really believes that. I hope not, because I think at this point we've all seen this movie before, right? And we know the end, and it's like we're at the end. And once people are protesting, it's done, right? There's no coming back from that. And especially once press conferences are based around talking about a group of players or mentality, it's like it's over. So I hope that he's got the wherewithal there to understand that baseball is very different. It's not really a team game. Individual players, it's very individual based. You managers, they can be there for 10 years at a baseball team. So I hope he's not thinking that, dig in, because, he's going to learn real quick that things are not going to be like it is in baseball. But I hope, he seems like a nice guy, and, I certainly think he's clearly a good businessman, because, he doesn't invest in companies and businesses that have failed, and manages a pretty big fund. So you don't do that without knowing a thing or two about hiring the right people, or managing the right people, or making changes when you need to. So I think he's probably bought some time to have a little noodle and figure out how he's going to restructure and do things, because he's not stupid. So
no, and I think that's the biggest thing, isn't it? I think he's exactly done that. He's come over. It's still relatively early days in his sort of tenure, stewardship of the club, but I think he would have seen a lot of things happen. Like, I think a lot of people going, "Oh well, he's a nice bloke. He's just letting him get on with it." Not a chance. I think he knows exactly what's going on in that football club within sort of 2 or 3 days he was there, and the changes that are needed to massively change our fortunes, because it's going in the wrong way at the moment. And if they don't, we're going to League One and we're staying there.
Yeah, you would hope so, because if he doesn't, we're bang in trouble. So we'll have to see. But I am blown away, that Manny is still in charge, as we talk today. I don't know any manager that would have the worst record for 124 years, oversee the first 7 home games of the season, lose them all. Whatever reason, and you could sit and talk all day about whether he's a good manager or a bad manager, where it went wrong. Could he not rein it back in again? Is the football wrong for the players? Did we hire the wrong manager because we didn't have the right players for that, or understand what he was bringing? You could talk all day about that, but at the end of the day, he is the wrong guy for this football club and at this time. And there's no going back now. It's just when does it end?
The problem with it is, and I said this earlier on that Sheffield Wednesday podcast, is you have a symbiotic relationship with Napa and Manning. So if Napa sacks Manning, he's saying that he's essentially casting the vote of no confidence over his own ability, and so then in that sense you create a massive vacuum at the club, which needs to be filled quickly. So I don't doubt that when this goes out, I don't know when this will go out, but I feel that Antanasio is not. He comes across as affable on his interviews, but the guy wouldn't be where he is if he was wet.
Agreed. And he also has. You don't see him, but Richard Ressler is there as well, right? He's on the board, and he's his partner. We don't see him in public, and we don't hear him talk or see him walking around the place. But he's got to have opinions, and he's got to be joining meetings and have a feel for what's going on, right? There has to be some kind of feedback loop there at that point.
Multi-billionaire, property magnate, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I think he's got to have a big. He's got to have a big, maybe not a big say, but certainly a big opinion on it. So, Morgan, it might be time for your fabulous next question.
Okay. So New York is called the Big Apple, obviously. If Norwich City Football Club was a type of fruit, what fruit would it be and why?
Well, it probably should be a peach, but at the moment it's more of a lemon. So.
What makes you say that?
I mean, I don't know. Do you know what? I've been here a long time, so maybe that's not saying. But here, it's like if your car's a lemon, it's a dud, right? It's not doing what it should be doing. So it's just like that saying. I mean, it's on the pitch. It's a complete lemon right now. The football is just horrific to watch. It's dire. It's slow. We allow teams to recover while we recycle it, and we don't get at people. We don't create those one-on-one situations. So it's just awful to watch watch these players go through the motions while they play football like that.
Jez, what fruit would you describe Norwich as?
Pineapple.
The pineapple.
Yeah, soft on the inside, prickly to touch, and don't even bother trying to touch the top of it because it's gonna cause you some issues.
I'm gonna go with tomato because it doesn't really know what it is.
Oh yeah, God, that's good shout.
It definitely doesn't know what it is right now.
And that's
why is New York called the Big Apple? Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I never bothered to look
Google it.
Yeah, have a look it up. I know if you go and watch the Mets play, they have like a big apple that comes out of. It looks like a top hat, but it's not. It's like just a big black thing that when they score a home run, the big apple comes out. The song plays.
So it says New York is called the Big Apple primarily due to the term used in the 1920s horse racing and jazz communities, which was later popularized by a 1970s tourism campaign.
Yeah, well, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, interesting. Learn something new every day, don't you, boys?
Yeah, every day is a school day.
Yeah. Right. So before I hand you over to Morgan for the random question of the week, James, which is always superb. What's next for New York Canaries, and is there any sort of shout outs, plugs that you want to give?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a big shout out to our member and friend Ryan, who's been struggling with a battle at the moment, and he's just moved, and he's got 2 kids. So you can imagine how hard it's been for him for the last few months, having to deal with a move, and then everything else is going on in his life. So big shout out to him, and if any of your 5 listeners were ones that donated to the fund when we had that, thanks to them.
I did, and I remember the story. It was
thanks for that.
Yeah. No, it's fine, isn't it? It's like I just wish him the best of luck, and is there? I mean, are you comfortable sharing an update on if there is an update?
I mean, you guys should have him on. He loves to do these kind of things.
We'd have him on. Yeah, we'd have him on tomorrow if you wanted to.
Yeah, he was on the one of the supporters boards for a while. That the club put together with people from all over the world. But yeah, you guys should definitely get him on.
Yeah, no, we'll look to do that because I think it's a really important story to share, and if we can always, this is something we always want to try and do to help Norwich fans. So if it helps in any way, we will. So. But yes, thank you, James, for so much for coming on. It looks like the sun's come out a little bit now, so
no, it's getting dark.
Fair enough.
I'm thinking about having a beer and going for dinner.
Oh, why not? But I will. Before we let you do that, over to Morgan.
Okay, this never gets boring, ever. Random question of the week. So. Obviously, New York is famous for its skyline. Let's be honest; it's got an impressive skyline. If you could have a Norwich City themed skyscraper, what would it look like? What would it include? What would be the general vibe of that skyscraper?
Oh God! I mean, can you imagine a giant yellow and green skyscraper in the middle of Manhattan? I mean, I could imagine it in Vegas, definitely not Manhattan, but maybe it would have a replica of Carrow Road on the roof, and a big club shop halfway up with a big giant staircase going up. Very
nice,
grandiose and very New York. With maybe a viewing platform, so people could look out across the sea.
There's always a viewing platform, isn't there?
There is. The new one, actually, I work in the building where the biggest one is now. It's just been open for a few years now. It's 2019. In Hudson Yards, there's one with a glass bottom, which I definitely don't have the guts to go walk out onto. Wow. I did that at the Grand Canyon, and I will never do it again. So
no, that makes me feel a bit sick, actually.
Yeah.
100%.
Jez?
Perhaps just simply a massive building, obviously, because it's a skyscraper. All the Premier League teams are in the top of it, and the lift's broken. We can't press the button on the lift. We can never get up never get up that lift to go and join those boys in the Premier League. We're stuck in the bottom floor.
I see you've been very philosophical with that.
Yeah.
Not like you.
Yeah.
You've been hanging out with me too much.
What about you?
It's got to be Norwich Castle on the top, isn't it? Like a replica of Norwich on the top.
That's a great film.
And then you've got like halfway, you've got like the Nest on one side, on like on a sort of like platform.
Plinth.
Yeah. And then you've got Carrow Road on the other side. And then there's like a sort of conveyor belt for talent for the go from the Nest to Carrow Road. I think it has to have like obviously yellow and green pennants on the side that drape down the side of the building.
Right.
I mean, I can keep going if you want. There has to be soft play. There has to be ball pits, doesn't there? Like with slides into ball pits, not just for kids but for adults too, because everyone loves soft play and ball pits, right? And slides. Yeah.
You have like the Brazilian goal music in the elevator. Like just on a
loop. Well, I haven't actually heard that for a while.
I bet you haven't. It's been you've only heard it twice in 6 games.
I tell you what, I actually have heard it. I heard it 9 times the other day at the women's game when they thrashed Chesham 9-2. So again, if you want your Norwich fix, go and check out the Norwich City women's team, who won't let you down because they're great.
Yeah. I think it's going to be between them and Fulham, isn't it, for the top of the league? So by the time this goes out, we'll probably know what's going to happen with that. So yeah, best of luck to the women and the men as well. James, thanks once again for jumping on, mate. And best of luck. And I was going to say have a good Christmas, but this is probably going to go out after Christmas. So hope you had a nice Christmas.
Hopefully I had a nice Christmas, and we started winning with Sheffield Wednesday away and put together a run, and we all just forgot about that bad period.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously keep in touch as well.
3 points. Isn't that the old saying?
Yeah, definitely. All your 2 front teeth if you're and Roberts.
So we do this thing called Canary Club. We're sort of working on our first season of Canary Club, where we go around meeting other clubs called nicknamed the Canaries. We just done one at Hitchin Town. By the time this goes out, maybe Carnarvon. The second series is us visiting all of the far-flung supporters groups around the world. So hopefully we'll come visit you.
Yeah, come on out. We'll roll out the yellow and green carpet.
Fantastic. That's a really nice place to finish then. So for everyone else watching, you can subscribe on our YouTube channel for more great content. Also, we are available to
come to your house parties.
No, definitely not. Please,
weddings and bar mitzvahs.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we could if the price. No, I'm joking. Of course not. Facebook, Instagram, and X for all the updates, and we are proudly supported by our sponsors, Masterseal and Pye Design, and of course, we are proudly part of the talkSPORT fan network. Thanks everyone for watching. I've been Jez Babies.
I've been Morgan Hewitt. Go.
Yeah, you got to say it as well, James.
Oh, I got to say goodbye. Thank you. I'm James Copland. Goodbye.
Oh, what's that? Hang on.
It's a missile.
Oh, it's a helicopter.
Oh.
Yeah, they do helicopter rides out here. So like all day long, they're back and forth. Okay, they come quite low.
Oh wow, that was well timed, doesn't it? That was like a sort of a fly past. Sure, it's not Atanasio on the way to the game tomorrow.
That's what I was about to say.
It might be too slow for that. If you like that kind of thing, you should go to San Diego, because there's where Torrey Pines is, where they play the golf. The Navy and the SEAL training is just literally next door.
Oh, amazing.
So there's a hotel there at Torrey Pine. You're hanging out in the pool, and it's like high up on the cliff, and all day long there's nothing but F-15s zooming past, and helicopters and bombers all day long.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
Well, we are definitely going now, everyone. Bye bye.